18th Independence Day of our nation. Let us
Hey Simon, Vikram Singpur University, teaching staff, non-teaching staff, NCC cadet, students, अपने इलेक्शन के लिए हजरत। Hey Simon, flag hosting का तैयारी। Let's salute.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भाग्य विदाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
of the University, Professor Sunita Garu, Principal of this campus, Professor Veera Reddy Garu, Deans, Directors, Head of the Departments, other teaching, non-teaching staff members, research scholars, my dear student friends, a very good morning to you all, and I wish you all a happy 80th Independence Day of India. So conducting Independence Day celebration is significant because it is merely not a ceremonial observation, but also it is an occasion to remember the sacrifices that made India to get freedom and to rethink commitment and responsibilities that independent India brought to us. So in every year we will celebrate two such kind of national festivals, and one is this Independence Day. Independence Day celebration is important because it helps us to honor the freedom fighters and the national leaders. With the first one, we know that India was under others' rule or under subjugation for a period of nearly 200 years. And in that 200 years period, so many freedom fighters, they fought for independence selflessly. Some have faced lathi charges, some died because of firing. Jallianwala Bagh is the best example for it. And some went to jail. In those days, whenever a person is fighting for freedom, they used to send them to Andaman Nicobar jails. Once, if a prisoner has got imprisonment in Andaman Nicobar, that is the end of the day for him. He will never come back to India to see his wife or his children. It's almost equal to a death. So there itself, in the jail itself, so many people have lost their lives. So it's such a crucial punishment, right? And Lala Lajpat Rai lost his life in lathi charge when he is doing a dharna against Simon Govak. So there are so many examples where people selflessly fought for Indian independence, and they all know very well that they are not going to eat up the fruits of the independence. They know well that because of their fight, because of their sacrifice, because of losing their lives or facing lathi charges, they are not going to gain anything at all, because they don't know when the independent India is going to become independent. So selflessly, people fought for independence in those days, right? हिंदी लोग एक सेंटेंस अपने चिंता करने वाला बहुत कम है, देश का चिंता करने वाला बहुत ज़्यादा है. In those days, more people used to be there who think about the country, and very less people used to think about themselves. Now, you see what is the situation in the present day. Can you see the people who are thinking about the nation seriously? Of course, very less. अपने चिंता करने वाला ज़्यादा हो गया, देश का चिंता करने वाला बहुत कम हो गया. ये सोचने के बात है. So this is a serious concern for us. After getting independence, those people who fought for it, they never enjoyed the fruits of this independence, and we are the people right now enjoying the fruits of Indian independence. But see how much difference is there between the mentality of those people who fought for Indian independence selflessly and the people who are enjoying the fruits of such independent India. So देश का चिंता करने वाला बहुत कम हो चुका है. डे बाई डे, ईयर बाई ईयर, अपने चिंता करने वाला लोग ज़्यादा हो रहे हैं. In those days, people used to think about the country more than the people thinking about themselves selflessly. Now the situation is completely reverse. I'll tell you one important story. When independence came to India, the first Home Minister and Deputy Prime Minister is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. And in his ministry, there is one person by name VP Menon Sahab, Secretary of States in Independent of India. So Vallabhbhai Patel is known for unifying the country. At the time of independence in India, 562 అంటే మన తెలుగులో పాలగాల రాజ్యాలు అంటారు. 562 ప్రిన్స్లీ స్టేట్స్ ఉండేటివి. జూనాగఢ్, హైదరాబాద్, రాజస్థాన్ స్టేట్స్, ట్రావెన్కోర్, బరోడా, గ్వాలియర్, భోపాల్, these are all ruled by independent people. So Britishers, they gave some kind of independence for all these things. They gave the choice for them whether to join in Union of Independent India or maintain their own status. So these people have opted for it, and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is the man behind unifying all these things, some by convincing, some by forcing, some by applying military against them. So he is the man behind unifying our modern India, bringing under one umbrella. Say, if you take the example of Hyderabad Nawab, he thought of joining with Pakistan. You know, where is Pakistan and where is Hyderabad, right? If Hyderabad is allowed to be a part of Pakistan, you can imagine how much difficult it is to maintain peace and harmony inside India. So he forcefully occupied all these things and made India as a great India, united India. At one point of time, he called VP Menon Sahab and he asked him, Menon Sahab, मेरे को वक्त नहीं है मेरे पास, अब मैं ये दुनिया से जाने का टाइम आ गया. అంటే ఈ ప్రపంచాన్ని వదిలిపెట్టిపోయే రోజులు నాకు దగ్గరకు వచ్చేస్తున్నాయి. ఐఎమ్ అసైనింగ్ యూ 2 responsibilities for you. One is writing a book about integration of Indian states, and another book is transfer of power in India, right? He assigned that responsibility to VP Menon Sahab. So VP Menon Sahab is a known person worked with the 3 viceroys during that subjugation period, English subjugation period, as political and constitutional advisor. So he has a lot of experience. So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, you see the commitment of the person. When he reached to the last stage of his life, he requested V.P. Menon Sahab to write 2 books, Integration of Indian States, Transfer of Power in India. And he advised him, don't put your commentary in that. Aapka commentary mat lagao isme. Whatever the facts that are there, you describe those facts only. And these 2 books are going to be a guide for the future generations of this India to know how much is struggle that the Indian people have faced in the subjugation period, right, to bring freedom and later to unify the India, making India great, and transfer of power. So what happened at the time of transferring of the power from Britishers to Indians? So he assigned that responsibility, requested V.P. Menon Sahab to fulfill that, telling him that I don't have time. And as per the promise, V.P. Menon Sahab, he fulfilled, he wrote these 2 books without keeping his commentary, his ideas into it. As it easily, he described what was happened in those days in these 2 books. So I advise all the faculty members and especially students, if time permits, definitely read these 2 books, Integration of Indian States, Transfer of Power in India. Next, Independence Day celebration is important as it helps us to strengthen patriotism and national unity. Right? Very big country. It is having different languages, different regions, different religions, and different cultures. Biggest question is how to bring unity under diversity. How to bring unity under diversity. You have so much of diversity. It's a big country, right, in size also. So how to bring unity under so much of diversity in this country is the biggest challenge. It is not only the challenge for the country, it is the challenge for the state. Nowadays, it is the challenge for educational institutions also. Right? There is no need for me to elaborate much on this. So, how to bring unity under different diversified people with diversified mentalities, thought processes, how to bring unity in colleges, in universities, it is a big challenging task. You all know what is happening. So, how to bring unity under diversity is the biggest challenge not only faced by the university country, it is the challenge faced by organizations like colleges, universities also. Next, Independence Day is also important to understand the value of freedom and democracy. I'll repeat, to understand the value of freedom and democracy. We got freedom, we got democracy, right? And how much suffering we faced and how much facilities we are enjoying today. Just have a look on this. Under colonial rule or British rule, the education system is just to produce clerks and attendants only. This was the situation during the 200 period of subjugation period, where they started only 3 universities in India. You can remember how much negligency that they paid towards India to provide education for Indians. Only University of Bombay, University of Madras, University of Calcutta, and all the remaining university colleges, they are the affiliated colleges for this university. 3 universities, only 3 universities. And now today we have 1400 universities across the country. State universities, central universities, private universities, deemed universities, and that number is growing now exponentially, right? Especially private universities and deemed universities number is growing exponentially. Just 2 to 3 days back, we have seen in a newspaper that in our state itself, 19 deemed universities are getting started in this academic year. 19. So, 2,000 colleges, 4.5 crore students enrolled in higher education, right? So, from the days where we suffered a lot for education with only just 3 universities and affiliated colleges, today we have so many colleges, so many universities, and so many universities are again coming up, right? So definitely there must be a paradigm shift in the education what we have gained during that subjugated period and what kind of education that we are getting in the present day with all these amenities, 1400 universities. But what is reality? You have to think, right? How many institutions are giving quality education? See, this day is not just to hoist the flag or distributing the sweets or remembering the sacrifices made by the people. This day is also very serious day to think about all these things, right? How many universities we are having? How many universities are functioning properly? And what kind of problems that universities are facing? Why we are unable to solve those problems, right? And why? Why? So this is a serious question, and at least on the occasion of like this, right, Independence Day or Republic Day, everybody, every stakeholder, teaching, non-teaching, students, research scholars, everybody should think about this. What kind of problems we are facing and how to overcome those problems. And can't we capable of stopping such kind of problems faced by the institutions day by day? Can't we do that? Taxes collected from India in those days are used to pay salaries for Britishers and to start industries in England. You see, in those days, taxpayers' money used to go for these things rather than developing industries in India, rather than providing opportunities, right? Various opportunities in India. Railway networks are developed. And most of the railway networks, if you see, they are laid towards the ports. Just because of transporting the raw materials, mineral wells of India to the ports and from there by ships to the England. We never used to have proper rights, no equality, no dignity, no opportunities guaranteed to the citizens of India in those days. Now you compare this situation, that situation with this situation. Today we have rights and we have equality and people are living dignifiedly. Opportunities are plenty, but where is the progress? Are we moving towards the progress with these kind of additional advantages, biggest additional advantages what we got because of independent India? We have every rights, we have equality, we have dignity, we have opportunities. Are we using them in a right direction? Everybody has to think today. Are we using them in right direction? This is important to celebrate Indian independence for another reason, to recognize our duties and responsibilities. I'll repeat. This is not only the day for flag hoisting or distributing sweets. Today, we have to think so seriously about what are our duties and what are our responsibilities. Right? When you have rights, along with rights, Constitution has given certain duties as well as responsibilities. Most of the people will demand for rights and they will never realize for their duties and responsibilities. This is what is the reality. So, independence is meaningful only when citizens contribute to peace, social harmony, development, and welfare of the nation. Indian independence, for another reason, to inspire our young generation. Yes, all the faculty members, majority of the faculty members sitting here, and majority of the citizens of our age, we are going to retire in another 5, 10, maybe 15 years. India is celebrating today 80th Independence Day, and we are just 20 years away from 100 years of Indian independence, right? So, all the youngsters who are sitting here in this gathering, they are going to reach to the vital positions, maybe principals, maybe teachers, maybe collectors, maybe superintendent of police. All the vital responsibilities, leadership positions, you people are going to occupy in the coming days. At the time of 100 years of Indian independence celebration, you will be the leaders, you will be occupying the key positions in the society. It is the responsibility of the present day elders, present day people holding leadership positions, maybe teacher, maybe a professor, vice chancellor, principal, registrar, or elementary school teachers, maybe public servants. It is the responsibility of us to encourage our young generation to learn about Indians' freedom struggle and to develop the qualities such as courage, discipline, integrity, service, and social responsibility. Not only teaching the classes with the subjects is essential today, we need to train them in ethical values, human values, roles, responsibilities, social responsibility. So in all these things, we need to train the students. So we have to just recollect how far we are successful in providing all these information to the young generation who are going to occupy the key positions in the society when India is going to celebrate its 100 years of independence. Next, it's also important for us to celebrate Indian Independence Day every year to reflect on Indians' progress and future challenges. Definitely, we have so many challenges. Society, country as a whole is facing so many challenges. Now we have to think how far we are ready to face those challenges. Science, technology, economic development, social justice, environmental protection, and national security. National security. Next, today there is a need for us to celebrate this Independence Day to promote the spirit of collective responsibility. This reminds us that nation building is a continuous process in which every citizen has a responsible role. Now, the important and interesting question is how to be a patriotic person now, right? Interesting point. I request the youngsters to please pay attention for this. How to be a patriotic person, right? Is there any need for you to fight against somebody else, some foreigners, to get freedom for India? No, because India got freedom already in the year 1947. So, for the present day generation, there is no need to fight against Britishers or somebody else in the world to get independent India or independence for India, right? And think in another way. Is there any need for the present day generation to fight for the external forces around us or to protect our borders? Definitely the answer is no. Because we have military, air force, navy, etc. So those people, they are taking care of our borders, and I can say that our borders are very, very safe. Indian borders are very, very safe. So there is no need for the civilians like us citizens like us to go and protect our borders also. Next, how I have to be a patriotic person. Don't say answer like, sir, if India is not independent even for today, I would have fought for it and got independence. Right? Even after getting independence, when there is no need for you to go and save the borders, how to be patriotic? It's not a rocket science. If you are a teacher, you teach properly to the students, and that itself is a patriotic contribution for the country. If you are teaching well, if the students are progressing, if they are becoming useful citizens of this country, they will be definitely useful for the economic growth of this country. Right? So in that way, you are contributing to the progress of the country. Every teacher is a leader, and every teacher must be a patriotic person. He can become a patriotic person just by doing his duty sincerely. And we have so many teachers here, so many non-teaching staff here, attenders. If everybody is doing their duty sincerely, that itself is a big patriotism. అదే దానికి మించిన దేశభక్తి లేదు. అటెండర్ డ్యూటీని, క్లర్క్ డ్యూటీని, టీచర్ల డ్యూటీని, రిజిస్ట్రారు, వైస్ ఛాన్సలర్ వాళ్ళ డ్యూటీలు చేస్తే యూనివర్సిటీలో, అదే మనం ఈ దేశానికి చేసే పెద్ద సేవ. రైట్? నౌ ఐ విల్ పుట్ ఎ క్వశ్చన్ మార్క్. ఇక్కడ కూర్చున్న ప్రతి వారు, at the same time students also, if you are doing good research, if you are studying well, you will gain knowledge, you can start thinking innovatively, you can produce a product, you can do patent, you can start one industry, you can become an entrepreneur rather than a job. And that itself is a big patriotism. If you become an entrepreneur sincerely by putting all your efforts when you are a student, right? Country will feel proud of you. When you are a job provider, rather than asking for a job from a private sector or a government sector, if you have reached to the stage where you are capable of producing jobs, India will feel proud of you. Every citizen of this country will feel proud of you. And that kind of patriotism is needed among the students also. So now it is the time for everybody, students, non-teaching, teaching, మీ అంతరాత్మలో సాక్షిగా మీరు క్వశ్చన్ వేసుకోండి, మీరు ఎంతవరకు దేశభక్తులు మీకే తెలుస్తుంది. దేశభక్తి అంటే ఎవరితోనో యుద్ధం చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. బార్డర్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళిపోయి రాత్రి మూడు కాపలా కాయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. అవి ఆల్రెడీ జరిగిపోయింది ఒకటి, జరుగుతున్నది ఒకటి. అది చేయడానికి చాలా మంది ఉన్నారు. సోల్జర్స్ ఆర్ దేర్, నేవీ, ఎయిర్ ఫోర్స్ ఉన్నాయి, సిస్టమ్స్ ఆర్ దేర్. సో I request all of you to stick to your duties. Everybody is having their duties, responsibilities. So if we fulfill our responsibilities, our duties, right, in independent India, that is the biggest contribution. And I will call all such people as patriotic people. This is as patriotism. Next. So country as a whole is facing so many challenges at this point of time, even after getting independence 80 years. How to promote of our country and to bring back the name of India as Vishwaguru. For centuries together, India was Vishwaguru. You will surprise, in those days, there used to be some coaching centers in China to give training for the students how to get admission in Nalanda and Takshashila. So for centuries together, those universities served the entire world. You're surprised. There used to be some coaching centers in China. They used to give coaching for the students, Chinese, to take the examination in Nalanda, Takshashila. So, our culture is very rich. We are rich in science, we are rich in technology, we are rich in economy. Our economy contribution is 25% before Britishers entered the country. And today, at the time of independence, it is 4% contribution, $0.03 trillion. And today, we are at $4 trillion. We are at fourth place or maybe third place also. So, just we are 20 years away from Indian independence completing 100 years. So it is the responsibility of every citizen of this country to see that country should go economically and become number one in the world. And we have to get back the name Vishwaguru again back to them. Next. And as an institution, if you think, you have to think of how to implement seriously national education policy, and before that, my sincere appeal is how to set the question papers as per the Bloom's taxonomy. Routine question papers cannot progress the thought process of the students, right? Derive, define, discuss, narrate. No. You have to give question papers so innovatively, following the Bloom's taxonomy models. So, when our university is going to reach that stage, it's a big question mark. Next, promoting research to produce entrepreneurs rather than job seekers. I told it many times. Every student coming out of the higher education institution should think of how to come out as entrepreneur. Maybe it's small scale, very, very small industry, providing employment for 10 people, 15 people. So, and we need about national visions like Skill India, Make in India, Made in India, Design in India, Startup India, and finally, revolutionizing of Clariation Call of India, Viksit Bharat by 2047. So we should not fall behind in our nation missions like deep tech, quantum computing, quantum applications, semiconductor mission, and AA mission. So, on this day of independence, it is the responsibility of the people sitting here in this institute, Vikramasinghe University, to think of when we have to reach to that stage. Nation wants that actually. And education gave strength to India, so freedom movement. And education must now give strength to India's development. Universities and colleges can use the occasions like this to encourage students to become knowledgeable, ethical, innovative, and socially responsible citizens. Independence Day is not a celebration of the freedom we inherited. It is a reminder of responsibility we carry to preserve that freedom and build a strong, more inclusive, developed India for future generation. Recently, when I was reading some book, I think, I got a statement, competition is law of jungle, collaboration is law of civilization. I'll repeat. Whereas collaboration is law of civilization. There is so much of meaning in this. Jungle means, it's a Hindi word, jungle means forest. Forest lo survival ki competition hai for animals. If they need not compete, they are lost. They are lost. Right? So that is the law of jungle. And we are in a civilized society where competition is not required. Collaboration is required. Of course, when the students are studying in colleges, schools, they need to face competition. Right? But after entering in the society, after joining in an organization or in some office, competition is not required. Collaboration is required. Collaboration is the law of civilization. Right? School చదివేటప్పుడు, high school చదివేటప్పుడు, college చదివేటప్పుడు competition ఉంటుంది. But the problem is, our parents, our teachers, our educational systems, they are promoting competition. चाहिए क्या? Collaboration after education. But we are habituated for competition. Even after entering into the organizations, same competition, right? Of course, I don't mean to say that competition is not required. Healthy competition is required. Unhealthy competition is not required. And there is a lot of need for collaboration across the departments. We have so many non-teaching units here, examination section, establishment, SMP, general administration, right? So within that, so collaboration is needed, right? Collaboration is needed. More collaboration is needed to complete the work in time and to finish the task in time, to get name and fame for the organization in time. But are we doing? Are we collaborating? Same is the case with the teaching departments also. Are we collaborating? Are we positive for collaboration? Of course, I don't mean to say that there is no collaboration. There is collaboration across the disciplines, across the departments, but that is not enough. We need to promote more collaborative nature, collaboration between teaching, non-teaching, among the teaching, collaboration across the departments, positivity, positive environment, helping nature, humanity. All these things are essential rather than competition. So finally, I want a promise from you all, with respect to the audience here. I want a promise. We will never do anything against the interests of this country, the interest of the state, and finally, the interest of Vikramasinghe University. I need a promise from scholars, students, teaching, non-teaching, and authorities, officers of this university, that right, we will never do anything against the interest of this country, our state, and our university. Right? So, with this, I'll finish. I'm extending my happiest Independent Day, 80th Independent Day wishes to one and all. Thank you, one and all. Jai Hind.
సంఘటనం ఒక యజ్ఞం సమిధగమన జీవనం భరతమాత పాదాలకు మూవలం ఆమె మోము పైన చిరునవ్వులం భరతమాత పాదాలకు మూవలం ఒక యజ్ఞం సమిధగమన జీవనం ఘటనం ఒక యజ్ఞం సమిధగమన జీవనం భరతమాత పాదాలకు మూవలం ఆమె మోము పైన చిరునవ్వులం భరతమాత పాదాలకు మూవలం ఆమె మోము పైన చిరునవ్వులం సంఘటనం ఒక యజ్ఞం సమిధగమన జీవనం నవ్వులం భరతమాత పాదాలకు మూవలం ఆమె మోము పైన చిరునవ్వులం సంఘటనం ఒక యజ్ఞం సన్నిధగమన జీవనం
हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलति तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभाशिष मागे गाहे तव जय गाधा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय जय